husband always says, if it makes Mama happy, it's the right thing to do. It really is a lot easier if you go from the center out, but packaging that came in a delivery box, but we don't want it to look like it is a delivery box. I think I like that. Welcome back to Patty Loves Paper. I'm Patty. We are continuing to work on our journal that started out as a cracker box. We have several pages completed, including the inside front cover, these 2 pages, this page. I believe we have a page a little bit further back, this page, and this page. So now we'll start to work on another page, maybe this one and maybe 1 or 2 in our second signature. So we'll start that in a second. But what else I have on my desk is a library book. This came from one of the library sales I went to. You can see the last time that the book was checked out or due back was February 9th of 2019, and then before that it was almost 7 years before it was checked out. So they sold it, they put it on sale, and I was able to buy it for 50 cents. It's a beautiful book of but hummingbirds with a lot of text and information about the hummingbirds. Multiple continents are mentioned about where these hummingbirds live and the different species. And then there's a picture of the author, and this is the illustrator. He illustrated all of the pictures in the hummingbird book. So we're going to take, I did take some pages from this, and we're going to try to work on it. These are some of the pages that I have either cut or taken out of the book that we're going to see if we can utilize today. I have a piece of pattern paper on my desk, and this was a McCall's 13, if you know, you know. And then we also have some dictionary pages. And then we have some die cut flowers. So I die cut flowers, and maybe I do them a little bit differently, but what I do is I try to place these all together on my platform, and I used 3 different papers. I used yellow, green, and pink, and I get a little bit for each one. Now, I'm not going to use them like this. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the green or the yellow from this one, and then we'll cut it right up here under the stem, where the stem begins from the flower. And we're just going to nip that right there. Okay. And then what we can do is we can use these also to maybe put behind, just to give a little shadow of yellow behind it. Maybe we like that, maybe we don't. I don't know. We'll decide that a little bit later. But I did the same with this one. It's got green on one side, yellow on the other. We'll take it up to here and let the stem be green. This, I think we need to do some poking out of these pieces that are left over from the die cutting. That's a really pretty flower. Anyway, we have the green all the way up to the stem. We might even be able to take that up a little bit, and then we have some greenery, and we're going to try to use that in the pages that we make tonight. So let's get started and see what we can come up with. One of the first things that I was thinking is that we would maybe cover one of these pages with some dictionary paper. And then maybe we would come in and place these around and see how they come out. And we might want to put a little greenery in there. We might want to put the greenery underneath. And we might not want to have any greenery at all, but let's see. Now, I kind of like that. We can glue all of that down. Maybe put some dark areas with some ink and see how that comes out. So let's see which side of the paper we want to use. I think I would prefer to use this side. So I'm going to take that down a little bit. I don't know why that seems like the ink is crooked. I think it's just torn crooked. So you can cut or you can tear. It's up to you. You don't need a ruler. You can freehand tear it. It's up to you. We're just going to measure it this way. I'm going to take it a little bit inside this folded edge that I fold as a guide. Okay. Let's take that down just a little. And again, I'm going to go right inside my fold. I'm not going to try to get it on the fold itself. Okay. Let's see if we can straighten that up a bit. And then here's our fold here. Here's our fold. We're going to take it right inside of that fold. And then we'll see how that does. All right, we got a little edge on all four sides, so I think we're going to go with that. And now I want to decide if I want to crumple it up or not, and I think I do. I think I'm going to crumple it up and then straighten it back out again. So I'm going to crumple that, and then I'm going to start to use some of my ink to ink that up. Now, we may not like this, but we're going to try it and see. We didn't get hardly any ink, so let's try that again. Just going to kind of pounce on it and see how that works for us. We don't want a whole lot of ink. We just want a hint of ink on it. Yep, I think that's nice. All right, let's kind of straighten that out a little bit. Now, why did we crumple it if we just want to straighten it out? Well, the crumple is going to not come out completely, and it's just going to add a little bit of texture and a little bit of interesting character to the paper. If you don't like the way that looks, add less ink or no ink. If you want it a little more inky, then add more ink. And this is a little bit more delicate paper than what we've been working with, so we do want to be careful that we don't destroy it too much. If it rips a little bit, it's okay. It's not going to cause a problem because we're going to glue it down anyway. So we'll be able to glue wherever it rips, but we just want to try not to rip it if possible. Okay. And let's see how our flowers are going to look on that. All right. We have one flower here. I think we're going to bring that stem up just a little. And we're going to cut it right there. Actually, might not have to cut it. Well, we better. Okay. And then we have one more flower that we need to snip the... Alright, so we'll take this down from the top. Nope, we might not be able to. Such a delicate job. Alright, so we're going to cut that right at the bottom of the flower. Alright, well, I kind of like that. I kind of like that. We can glue that all down, and then we can put a little label or something down here to finish it off. All right, let's start gluing this down. We'll start with our paper. All right. I find that I might have to force myself to talk today. I don't feel like I have too many words to use. So I had a pretty rough day at work yesterday, and didn't make it to my craft room. I went and sat in my living room and fell fast asleep, which is probably what I needed anyway. And then today at work was a little bit better, still very stressful, lots and lots going on, but not as horrific as yesterday. So I'm happy to be back crafting and putting some things together for my junk journal. All right, let's see if that'll lay down. Okay. See if we can smooth that glue a little bit. You know, sometimes I think I'm on camera and I'm really not. So I'm trying to pay a little more attention to that. But I do hope you have been enjoying the videos. And if so, I hope you'll give us a like and a subscribe, and maybe consider giving us a comment and telling us what it is that you like about the video. All right. All right, let's start with our greenery. I think I want to flip it. Now this was some handmade paper that I had purchased many, many years ago, maybe 20 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. And it was a little bit thicker than normal paper. I don't know how you make paper by hand, but it was a little bit thicker. And especially the pink one was a little bit fiberful. It had fibers all throughout it. And I thought it would be nice to try and see what the paper would look like if we used it in the die cutter. And I think it came out pretty nice. So let's start gluing this down. So if you find that one of your escapes from the pressures of work and different pressures in life is some kind of craft or something special that you do, please let me know what it is. It's always good to share. Somebody else may be looking for something to do too that just kind of helps relieve a little bit of stress. All right, let's lay this down. All right, we want it glued completely down, nice and flat, because we may end up putting a pocket or a label or something down here, but we want to make sure that anything that touches it doesn't get caught on a loose end, and I think I want to glue it this way, and pull it up. So we want to make sure we get nice glue. Now you don't have to get it on every single piece because the glue is going to spread, but you don't want to leave any major areas out. All right, let's lay this little piece down. And you may not have these particular flowers, but you can always hand cut flowers, or you can draw flowers onto your dictionary page. All right, this little flower is cut off, and I thought I saw another one. I don't see it now. So we can take a piece from another one and just glue it in its place. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to pinch this leaf off, and we're going to glue it on top of that little space. It's probably going to be covered by another flower, but my husband always says if it makes Mama happy, it's the right thing to do. Don't tell him I told you that. All right, let's see how we want to lay these. I don't want them too uniform. I kind of like that. Yeah, let's do that. This looks like a wildflower to me. I don't know if it's a wild daisy. I'm not really sure what it is. All right, let's get this next one down. I don't know what this is either. But I like the way it looks with the pretty pink and green. Yellow's going to be hidden, but I don't want this one quite as high as the other one. But I do want the stems to kind of line up. There we go. I did notice that the green was coming away from the yellow, so we're going to glue this down. Okay. And then we're going to put our last one. Okay. Let's see how that does. Nope, our yellow is coming apart. Let's just glue that down. Okay. All right, so there's our little wildflowers. And let's see about putting a little we have a little label there, a little label there. Cotillion party, I kind of like that. Let's go with that. All right, we glued that down on two sides and the bottom to create a little pocket there. And then we can see if we have something to put inside of it. If not, we'll look at making something. Okay. And there we go. I don't know if we want to add some little there we go. Let's see if there's something in here. I thought I saw some little tags. Yeah, these little tags. These were just, I made these a while back, and they're just little tags that they kind of go perfectly too. And we can put some little numbers or something to go in there, but we'll hold off on that for right now. All right, let's see what other page we have to do. So another thing that I was thinking that we might be able to do with this, we're going to save these scraps, but I did take some of the I think this is called bibliographies. Yeah, the bibliography. I did take this out of that hummingbird book, And I was thinking we could use that, make that like a belly band, and put this little guy on top of it. So let's take him off. Let's see what we have. I don't know if I want part of it or... Yeah, we can do that. I don't think we need to add any strength to this one, so we're going to take it just... I want it a little bit wider than the word bibliography. Let's see how that would work. No, that's still too wide. Let's bring that in just a little. And we got it crooked, so let's try to straighten it. Okay, and let's try the other side. Alright, and let's see if that would work with this. Yes, it will. And we can make a belly band right there of that. So, what are we going to put underneath it? Let us see. So one thing we can do is put another dictionary page underneath, but that might be a little bit too much wording. So let's see if we put the pattern paper down to knock it down a little bit. Yeah, that might be nice, because that'll knock down some of the dictionary page, but let it still shine through, and then we could put our belly band on top. Let's try that. All right. We are not going to crumple this one up. Okay. Let's see. Let's see how much we want to keep of this. We're going to mark it where we want to tear it. We'll go right there. All right, let's see if that works for us. Again, we're going to save all these pieces because we may do something with it. And I think we should glue our pattern paper down first. All right, Let's use some decoupage to get that done. I said decoupage, our collage page. All right. We're going to fill this up with glue, the collage page. Get all the way to those ends really well. And then we're going to lay down our pattern paper. I want to kind of add some wrinkles. I don't want it to be completely smooth. It's just not the look I'm going for. Let's get a little more down, see if we can seal it up. It really is a lot easier if you go from the center out, but sometimes it's hard to do that. It looks like I got rid of a lot of my wrinkles. All right, let's just put that aside and let it dry. We're going to cut it down a little bit. All right, we're going to let that dry. All right, let's start working on our last page while this is drying. We'll move this aside. Okay, so another thing I thought we would do with our dictionary pages is to rough tear this and then do the same thing, Mod Podge it down here. We can put a pocket here, maybe a pocket like this, or a pocket of the words, and that would be another page. So let's start taking our dictionary page down again. I think we're going to start filling up some pages back here, so we'll look at this one. Okay. We're going to bring this in here, and we're going to bring it in right about here. So typically I craft by myself, work on my books, and I have some background noise or maybe a podcast or something on, and it's just me. So sometimes it's hard for me to find things to say because I'm used to just getting lost in my creativity and not really discussing it with anybody. But that is one of the reasons I started this channel, was to find other people that have the same interests, that enjoy making junk journals. We can share ideas, we can just have conversations about it, have somebody else that understands it share it. My husband is very good about listening to me talk about it. My sister, my daughter, my friends, they're very good about listening to me talk about it, but they're not really interested in it. They're just very gracious and loving and kind to me about it. But I'd really like to have conversations, even if they're written conversations in the comments, with somebody who absolutely enjoys it the way that I do. So if that's you, leave me a comment, because I really want to build a community of junk journalers. All right, let's glue that down. No, let's not glue it down. Let's tear our... I don't even know if that's going to be too big, so let's try. We're going to tear this part off, and then we're going to start rough tearing it. Sometimes if you put your hand where you don't want the paper to tear, you can kind of control where it tears. So if I put my finger over, or my thumb over this leaf here, I can work my way around it without actually tearing it. Didn't work that time. I did tear it a little bit. But that's okay. We'll work around it. Okay, I think we were able to salvage it. Just going to cut that rough piece off. All right. And we're going to continue on. I want this to fit on that dictionary page, so I don't want to have a lot of excess around the illustration, because I don't have a very big dictionary page. All right. All right, I definitely don't want to tear his beak, so we're going to go around that. Around that little bit of a leaf. And I don't know if we want to take this little twig off, but we'll see. Oh yeah, we're probably going to have to take that little twig off. And this one too, because it's just not going to fit with it. Okay. So we may have to lose a little bit of this leaf, and we're definitely going to have to lose a little bit of this branch. I don't think there's a way around it. So I think I'm going to try to tear it as if it were made that way. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I think we just fit. We just fit. All right, I think we're going to go with that. Now, I probably should have used a more permanent ink. So when I put this down, the Collage Page is probably going to make that ink run a little bit. But it's really just going to make it look more aged. So it's really okay. So let's bring our little mat back in and see if we can move this over a little bit. I don't think we have any glue down here, and this is almost dry. All right, so we'll try to see if we can cut this down just to give us a little bit more room. All right. And again, this is Collage Posh. I really prefer this, but I can't find it anymore. I don't know if they stopped making it. If anybody knows what happened to Collage Posh, please let me know. All right, let me get some of this cleaned up so we can lay it flat. Okay. Everything's going to stick to me now. All right. All right. Now let's see about laying our... I'm just going to try to dab some of this glue on here just to get it to stick a little bit quicker. All right, now we're going to try to place this down. And we made it. All right, let's get our little more Collage Posh. All right. Camera's not doing us any favors, is it? All right, this is not only going to glue it down, but it's going to act as a sealant too. And it's going to seal it. All right, let's see if we can lift it up just to wipe off any excess glue, because we don't want to glue it to our mat. We want to glue it to our book. All right. And since we do want to lay it flat, because we want it to dry flat. Okay. All right. Let's see how this guy's doing. Still a little wet. So we'll give it just a little bit longer. So we're going to move this aside, let it dry a little bit, and we'll come back to it. All right. So we'll start working on the next little piece, which is our little belly band for our page. So we're going to ink this up. I don't really think that's as straight as I want it, but I think it'll be fine. We'll ink these edges. these edges. And we're going to glue this down right here. All right, and then we'll glue this down to our page. And we'll have a little belly band. All right. I think this is dry enough that we can start to cut it if it will allow us to. All right. Let's see if we can glue this down. We're going to move this out of the way so it can continue to dry. And we're going to find our page. All right, I think we're good there. And then we could tuck something here, maybe a journal card. All right, let's get that laid down. All right, let's see if we can get that laid down without gluing it to ourselves. Because I'm pretty good at that. All right. I really like that. It really knocked the color off of that that dictionary page, made it look a lot older than it is. I mean, it is pretty old. I don't want to tear anything. And I definitely don't want to get my wrinkles out. I want to leave my wrinkles in, but I do want that glue to adhere down very well to that page. Because if you remember, when we made these pages out of packaging that came in a delivery box, but we don't want it to look like it is a delivery box package. So we want to make sure that we get this glued down very well. Okay, let's see. If we want to put this here, I think that's going to be too big of a journaling card. But let's put this down. All right, so we have our bibliography page, or our tuck, with our little hummingbird, and then we'll make a little journaling page. See if we have something else to make a journaling page out of. I don't want to take their beaks off, and I feel like we would be doing that if we use these. we wouldn't be able to get that. I mean, we could do it this way. That might not be a bad idea. They might look better off flying up, but, well, we'll have to see what we're going to do with this. Let's see if we have some. Let's just glue this down. All right, let's see if we can get this to work. All right. Still too long, so we could kind of put it in that way, and that might be okay. All right, there's our journaling card. All right, so that's our, is that our second page done? Yeah, that's our second page done. This is just a tiny bit tacky. I think we're going to take a page out of this book that is all text. Glue it to the back of this to give it a little strength. Yeah, we're going to glue that down to that. All right, let's glue this down. We may want to use this hummingbird family for something, so I didn't want to glue over that. And we're not going to see any of this page. We just really wanted it for a little bit of strength. So we want to make sure that the 2 pages are adhered to very well. Okay. And again, we want to make sure we save this. And then we want to see about gluing this down. Now we have hummingbirds here, so I don't necessarily want hummingbirds right next to it. So maybe we'll do our hummingbirds here. Wow, that is so pretty. Okay, let's get that inked up and then we'll get that glued down too. Okay. Okay. Oh. I think it stuck to my hand and just pulled right up. You know, sometimes these videos work, sometimes they don't work. Sometimes they go very smoothly, and sometimes every single thing goes wrong. But that's okay. I think I like that. Alright, so we now have added this page. We have added this page with a journaling card. And we have added our last page. Very pretty. Very nice. I think I like it. I do hope you got your supplies and stayed and played along with me. We will continue on this series in our next video, and I hope you'll join me. Please consider liking and subscribing and maybe leaving me a comment. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. I hope you're enjoying junk journaling with me, and I hope you'll join me for my next video. Until then, bye-bye.